Sean is an interesting Irishman, don't you see? Okay, not that interesting, but he's still fun. Overall, he seems okay so far, but it doesn't change the fact that they've been hiding stuff for their families the whole time that they've been married for almost 2 years now, and it gets interesting tonight because they finally reveal that. So we will jump in and see what's going on with them. Statler and Dempsey seem to be fighting all the time. Will they get through it? Probably not. Josh and Lily have some interesting intimacy issues going on right now, and Sarper and Shekinah, well, they're just trying to go to therapy and get it right. But let's hop into the Irishman himself, Sean, and see what is popping with them over in Ireland.
It's very hard
Yes.
to figure that out.
She definitely went straight in with no lube, didn't she?
You gotta love the verbiage. So the friend is finally going out to meet and start talking to Sean and get to know him. The problem is that they are still sitting there lying to her face while she's asking, what are you going to do about the distance? What's going to happen with that? Are you going to go here? Are you going to go here? And they're trying to just tiptoe around the issue when they already know that the whole plan, because they are married already, is for Joanne to come over to Ireland, stay for 6 weeks, and come back to visit for 2, which, I don't know, leave your kids for a couple weeks and just come to visit them on vacation instead of finishing raising them. I understand one is 18, but one is still 10 years old, maybe 11 or 12. But he's young, needs his mom, and you're talking about moving halfway across the world. Sean isn't trying to leave Bella because, we got to think about Bella's mom, right? Okay, well, she's thinking about the boy's dad, but not about her actually being in their life. So this is when they tell them that they are actually married already, it can't possibly end good. Maybe they accept it at first. Maybe. We'll see. But it's going to lead to a bunch of problems.
You want to get married eventually, so I would assume he would
assume?
Come to you, like you have the boys there and Joey's an adult now.
He makes a solid point. Or, I'm sorry, she makes a solid point.
So almost,
Look.
Well, we have to still, we're still figuring that out.
You lie through your damn teeth, you freaking liar. We are still figuring that out. You not only know, but you've been married the whole time. See, they should have, at this point, she should have just said, look, I'm going to come clean with you. I'm going to tell you, we haven't told the boys yet. We haven't told Bella yet. We'll bring them aside to talk to them, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you because I don't want to lie to you anymore. Sean looks like he's more bothered about lying than actually Joanne is. I don't know what this whole, you know what it is? It's because she's afraid that someone's going to give her some negative, feedback, and it's not just going to be all positive and, hey, live your best life. Live in your truth. Do what you do. No one's going to say that. They're going to be like, what the hell, man? What the hell? And she knows that. She knows that at this point, it's not going to be super positive. Even if you told them from the beginning, they'd be like, how is that going to work? Because your kids are over here, his child's over there. How's it going to work? She didn't want to hear it. She wanted to be happy in her own self, in her own relationship. And we'll hear a little bit about that in a minute.
Are you guys joking?
Yeah.
For 2 years?
2 years. Oh, look at the face right there. She just realized how messed up it actually was what she just did.
You're married already.
Yeah.
They're not married.
Like you're married and...
You're married.
They're not married.
Already.
We're not stupid.
We are.
I like Jesse's reaction. He's just eating cake.
And then it's like, what can you do except cope? Cope and cope and cope. That's all you can do at that point is sit there and cope and make jokes and I like his but yet Joanne is the one that had the actual realization at this point that holy crap, we got married 2 years ago, didn't tell anyone, and now we're breaking this to them, and we still have more to break. I don't know, I'm going to live in Ireland most of the time, which seems like it's just gonna keep rolling on downhill. Ever heard of slippery slope? Slippery slope.
It was important that you guys came, met each other, and then we told you the news.
How about before you actually introduce, because you're hoping that at that point we say, hey, we're married, and they're like, oh, but we just met, so maybe it's going to be like a connection all of a sudden, instead of like, Mom, what the heck? Why didn't you tell us? Seems like there's some flaw in your ideas here.
Sean and I were so wrapped up in our own little world, in our own little bubble, that neither one of us really thought about the fact that we may be hurting the people that we love the most.
Like your frickin' kids, lady. You didn't think about them for 1 second. Talk about the people you love the most. You have your 2 sons sitting right here, and you're saying you didn't think about them because you're wrapped up in your own stuff. The definition of selfishness. At what point did the mothering aspect leave you and selfishness just entered? Like for you to not even think about them. I'm not saying don't be happy. I'm not even saying don't have another relationship. But for you to be married for 2 years and not think maybe I need to bring the kids around him or introduce them a little bit more than just a phone conversation, then say, hey, we're wrapped up in our own stuff. We just didn't think about it. I don't think that makes you sound even remotely good. In fact, it makes you sound awful. And maybe you're a very nice person who just wanted to find happiness, but lady, you went about it wrong. Well, how they react is going to be interesting. We will see if they accept, because the next step is, oh, by the way, we're going to move here. Will the boys accept that? Will Bella accept that? Will the friend give a little pushback and say, what the hell, Joanne? On the next time of Days of Our... Should be interesting, though. We will see where it turns out. Statler and Dempsey are a fun bunch, that is for sure. Where we left them was that Statler was having an absolute anxiety panic attack. But when she was called out on it, she's, I'm panicked. I'm very panicked. Let's see how she's reacting now.
My anxiety will be cured because it's a nice moment. And it's like, no, my anxiety is still with us. It's still in the room.
Still in the room, except for the fact that you claimed to her that you needed to be alone and not talk to anyone, except now you all of a sudden seem to have time for the producers for an interview. It's okay to talk to them, right? Maybe you're actually just lying. I'm not saying you're not uncomfortable. I think you are. I think this is out of your comfort zone. I think you're playing it up and you use anxiety as a crutch. You use panic attacks as a crutch when you're uncomfortable instead of just being like, yeah, I'm uncomfortable and working through it or not doing things to begin with. This is how you let everyone know that you are the victim, that you are having problems. See, that's the problem with Statler, is she is in the victim Olympics. She's trying to be the top victim. Instead, she's getting called out on it by like, what the hell, when Dempsey's saying, what are we doing here? And she doesn't seem to like it, but she needs it because it seems like she hasn't had much accountability in the past.
It's frustrating that she doesn't understand. Sometimes I just get overwhelmed and I need to be alone and I just need space.
Says the person telling that to a producer.
She's exciting. She said to me only like a couple of weeks ago, I'm comfortable in misery. And like that's constantly been playing on my mind.
Wonder why.
I don't know how somebody can be comfortable in misery.
Someone who wants everyone to feel bad for them. Someone who is in the Victim Olympics, winning the gold medal. Because that's exactly what she is. The Victim Olympics have come back, and Statler is the one running for the gold. And she has gotten it. She's like Michael Phelps, winning like 20,000 gold medals for the Victim Olympics. She has got to be the victim. As much as she's like, stay away from me, do all this, she's got to be the center of attention. That's what it is. You see, every time she sees Dempsey with happiness, she's got to be throwing a tantrum of some sort and saying it's my anxiety. She's just not telling the truth. She has basically co-opted her uncomfort level and made it seem like it's anxiety and panic attacks. Anyone who really has anxiety and panic attacks and stuff should be mad at her. Because at this point, she's just lying and taking discomfort and raising it up here and saying, panic attack, I need to be alone. But come here, producer, let's do our interview. Yeah, she's full of it.
And I'm telling you how I feel.
Maybe we just don't really just get each other, period, full stop.
Yes. Leave right now. Run for the hills. Dempsey, you figured it out. Leave. Get off the boat, do the right thing, say, hey, can I take you to the closest bus station, the closest airport in France? Because that's where they're going. Let me take you there. I'm gonna take you there. You can fly home, be happy in your misery at home. Instead, no, they're going to have this little spat, then they're going to keep rolling in the van, and they're just going to fight every 5 miles. And that's how it's going to be, because obviously it makes good TV. But if you're talking about a real relationship that you really want to last, this ain't it. Statler, she can live in her misery. She can live in her anxiety and panic attacks and go find someone that's accepting of that. Whatever. Have fun. Dempsey needs to find someone that wants to explore and have fun in the world and live this happy life of we can have very little, but we can be happy. Either way, them two together ain't it.
Like breaking up all like this is too much,
Because
man.
you've not enjoyed any of it.
Holy
you haven't?
I seriously.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry, but like
She earmuffed her damn ears. She has earmuffed her damn ears. She put finger plugs in her ears to not listen. She is a child. There's no other way to explain. She is a child who wants attention, and when it doesn't go her way, she throws a tantrum. That is what we're looking at right here. And then she hides behind, it's a panic attack. I feel panicked. I'm like, does that even sound right coming out of your mouth right now? I need to be alone. Producer, come here. Like, it's ridiculous. Them two, look, Dempsey's whole experience with this is going to be ruined if she don't leave now. And Statler just needs to go back to the States. She can live her own miserable life if that's what she wants to do. Or she needs to start actually trying to have somewhat of a good time, or it's never going to happen. Something's got to change, or it's just going to be complete misery for both of them. And this experience is going to be nothing more than a cautionary tale for being with someone that you have nothing in common with and continuing to try to make it work. In fact, it could be an infomercial for what not to do in a relationship. That is what is coming with this one. Should be fun, though. Now, Josh and Lily seem to have come into different problems these days, and it seems like he's just trying to make excuses.
Yeah, I've been tired. I've been sick. As soon as I lay down, I fall asleep. We will.
She is begging him to make love. That's what she is begging him to do. He's making it, I'm tired and I'm sick, and every time I lay down, I just go to bed. But you've been there for as long as you have, and has it happened yet, though?
之后呢，我们都还没有 make love，
但
是慢慢的我发现我们已经习惯了没有 make love。
And yet every excuse in the damn book. They haven't had sex since he got there. Now, I get it. Jet lag, tired, fine. You can fall asleep. It's okay every now and again. There's nothing wrong with that. But you've been there and y'all haven't done it yet? And yet now, like, I'm tired, I'm sick, Look, Family Guy did a joke about this, about a guy just looking for an excuse because he can't get it up, and I'm starting to see that's going on a little bit here or something, because there's an issue. Poor lady's like, it's not my culture, I'm not, I shouldn't be begging you, but I just want you to know I really want to be close to you. And he's like, I'm really tired though. It's like, I'm sleepy. And I fell asleep. I'm sorry. And this cold. Then he sniffles a little bit, make it seem like it's real. In reality, it's like, are you really sick though? I don't buy it.
Energy into it, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
In China, our tradition is that males should take the initiative to have sex. And because it's our Chinese tradition,
Yes.
I feel embarrassed to ask you for sex.
I'm not going to lie. That is extremely sexy. The robotic voice explaining it. Dude, you got to put forth more of an effort, man. I mean, this poor lady's like trying to explain it, can't get put into words. So she used the translator app to tell you that it's Chinese culture. Typically, the man initiates the sex. That's the culture here. And she feels weird saying to you, I want to have sex. And yet you are like, what? I was just tired and stuff. Like, you didn't think maybe your wife might want to be close to you? My friend, you might need to re-examine some things there.
白话嘛，我们中国有一句话，所以我希望他让我在
We also have a saying in the United States, don't just say empty words. So I think that's universal.
生活当中能真真正正感受到他对我的爱。
What?
I want.
I want to. So, just I promise you, I will make sure you are excited and happy.
All right, dude, do not make promises you can't keep. So if there's an issue going on here, you better go ahead and confront it, because don't be saying things like, I promise you I'm going to make you happy and everything like that when you haven't done it yet and you've been there. I don't know how long you've been there for, but y'all haven't had sex yet, and y'all are already married? You're going to have the big ceremony, I get it, but y'all are already married. So you get there, see your wife, and you don't have sex. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, maybe he's got something going on, I don't know, but don't make promises that you can't keep. That's all I'm going to say. Sarper and Shekinah might have the most work to do on their relationship, considering they just had a fight. He snatched her phone, accidentally snatched out her hair extension, and now they're trying to be on the mend with that. Oh, by the way, he seems to be having trouble with the whole visa situation and going to the United States, which he seems like he doesn't really want to do. So, this... I don't see how it rolls back uphill or undoes the damage that's been done eventually. It seems like they got too many things to work out. There are too many issues going on that it's just not going to happen. All the what?
I really want to destroy them.
All the damn bottles.
You want to destroy them?
Yeah.
Do
Finally?
you?
Will you come with me?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay.
You know damn well she's going to go with you. So he's it's his peace offering. What we're going to do is we are going to go and destroy these bottles that are every memory of a bunch of different women I've slept with, which, you know, like I said all along, why do you have those to begin with when you're in a relationship and you know what they represent? Why? Just get rid of them. But finally he's getting rid of them, and this means something because he's refused to in the past for God knows what reason, but he has. So now he's trying to make a gesture. Interesting. Throwing bottles should be interesting. Now she's going to throw one.
Okay.
Break.
You want me to break one?
Yes.
That's like the second.
I hate.
What the hell? That is like the second one that actually didn't break. She ends up going like 3 or 4 before one finally breaks. That can't be a good sign, right? There's like 3 or 4 bottles that didn't break. Is that like the 3 or 4 times he's going to cheat on you by next week? I mean, that can't be. You're finally breaking all these bottles, getting rid of them, and you can't break one. Well, I'm not one that truly believes in like signs and all that kind of stuff, but if I did, I might say it's not a good sign. They finally decide to go to therapy, and the question is can they have a breakthrough? Can Sarper finally see the error of his ways and be a better man? Can he? Is it something that's going to happen, or is it something he's going to BS his way through because he really doesn't want to be there, and Shekinah is going to continue to be kind of the vain person she is, and it's never going to work out? Probably the latter, but yeah, I mean, you hope for the best. I mean, like I said, they could have a good reality show. Him and Adnan could have a great reality show by, you know, just kind of being themselves. That would be fun.
To me, submissive.
Ah.
And when I see her strong to me, I have a fear. You know?
Basically, when she talks back to me, he has a fear.
She's starting to get a little rebellious to me. Oh my God.
Oh God.
She's not loving me that much.
So, now, I will say, at face value, that sounds bad, but their whole relationship started out because he liked to be in control and she liked to be submissive. She talked about it. She talked about how, I like this dynamic. I like that he's telling me, you need to lose weight, you need to do this, you need to do that. If that's the relationship you want, okay, but the problem is now you're in this dynamic where it's like, she speaks out about anything, it's like, I feel like she don't love me anymore. Like, okay, because she said, you know, I don't like X, Y, and Z, or because I didn't want the... This was a really stupid one, because this is, I didn't like the vanity. That's what it was. And he took that extremely personal, which is extremely stupid. So these little things are leading to bigger things and bigger blowouts, which is all we're going to see.
All the time and see her happy, nothing else.
That's what he wants. He wants to see her happy and nothing else. But yet he wants to be in control of everything. And that's the problem, is when there's no compromise, then it becomes a problem in a relationship. There's nothing wrong with someone being a little more in control. If, you know, y'all figure out the dynamics, that's what you want. And in this situation, it seemed like that's what they wanted. But the problem is, it was something so minor. It was something as a vanity she just said, I didn't want. And he took it and ran with it because she might have had a point. It very well might have been that he didn't actually have a gift and he was offended because she didn't just say, I want that. It very well could be something like that. And the fact is, if you're not okay with having some sort of compromise because you get questioned at all, you're going to have a serious problem in a relationship, because a relationship is compromise. A relationship is you coming together and having that dynamic where you can talk about things and figure it out. One person's not always right. It can be a cooperative effort and coming together and figuring it out. Sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes my wife's wrong. But we come together, we talk about it, and we figure it out. If he can't do that and he automatically says she doesn't love me enough because she said she didn't want the vanity, how the hell is this going to work? Explain that to me. It's not. It's not at all. It's not going to happen. It's not going to work. They're going to write out their 15 minutes of fame, and then they're going to ride off into the sunset alone because they're not going to be together. And that's how it's going to end. But they'll keep writing out the show for a while because, you know, whatever, the pay, the publicity, whatever. Either way, they'll get it for a little bit longer. But it will crash and burn. Mark my words. Day, a month, a year, it'll go down pretty good. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. I appreciate all the support, and I will see y'all next time.